Hi, this is Sharon at Fitinfun.com, and I want to talk to you about what to do if your kid wants to be an artist instead of something else. And the reason that's being brought up to my mind is I keep remembering something that happened when we went to Laguna College of Art up in where is that place? Laguna Beach. Laguna College of Art. And that's a good art school here locally. It's a little bit up the coast from here, and my son could have gone to it and taken the train back and forth, and it's in a beautiful wooded place up the canyon, and then down at the far end of the canyon is the town of Laguna Beach plus the ocean. So it would have really, honestly, I would have gone there. Like literally, when we drove into that campus, I'm like, I want to live here. I could care less if my son comes here. I want to be here. This is a beautiful place. And they have a very wonderful program to show you their school. And I've done a lot of different school tours with my son, and this was one of the best. So I'm not making that up. And what they did is they had you go to class, just as if it was a school day, more of a high school day, like 40 minutes in each class. And you picked a path, whatever it was, you know, web development, or my son was animation. And I think now we should have had him in fine arts or something, because really animation isn't him. He's not a computer artist, and he didn't like it really. So we were kind of on the wrong track, which was one of the problems. But in any case, a lot of the things were the same, because you had to take drawing, and you had to take painting, and you had to take certain other things. And so you went through these certain things, and you'd end up in the classroom where that thing would be taught, and you'd be spoken to by one or two or three of the professors in that field that taught at the school, and they would just present, this is what I do in my class, this is the kind, and they'd have, the work was all over the place. It was stunning. Like for me, I love to look at other people's art. That's something that really works for me. And to be in a room with all this college work, I was happy. And you know, you'd be in one room and then go to the next room, go to the next room, and they'd usually you had like 5 or so minutes to look at the beginning, and then 15 minutes at the end to mill about and look and get to your next place. So it was really cool, and you saw all this work. Like we were in a sculpture room, or ceramics maybe. No, it was sculpture, where they had like blocks that they carved into and things like that, and stunning work in there. And it was just a fun afternoon, or fun day for me. It was a long day, and they served lunch in the middle and everything. It was really just nice. And the campus was beautiful. And here's the part that stuck out to me, is in one of the rooms that we went into, it was an older professor, male professor, and he said, here's how he did his talk. He says, I know that some of you parents are in here and you've had your worst nightmare, that when your child says, I want to go to art school, and when you talk to other parents and you say, my kid wants to go to art school, everyone says, like, oh, you should talk them out of that. That's a terrible idea. Like, the kid should never go into art. You know, you should make your kid be an accountant or be in business or something. And when he said that, I was like, what? Like, I've always wanted my kid to be in art. I'm thrilled. I'm so glad he's going to do this instead of, you know, going some other direction. This is what he's always done, and this is what I want him to do, and I think it's what he wants to do. So what are we talking about? But the teacher proceeded to say, the thing I want you parents to know is that all artists can be successful. And the successful ones, this was a Sunday morning, like, because it was Sunday all day from 9 a.m. to 5 or something. And this was one of the first talks. And he said, on a Sunday morning, the successful artists are working, and the unsuccessful ones are still in the bar from last night. I mean, everybody cracked up, but to me it was like, yep, that's it right there. And it's just exactly what I've been told over and over again. The well-marketed art is what sells, and the poorly marketed art doesn't sell. And you can see that over and over again in history, when, you know, the starving artist is the guy that's like sitting in his hovel, not communicating and not taking care of business and not bathing and whatever, and no one's going to buy that art. But once they die and someone finds it, it's like, oh my gosh, this should have been making money from day one. But it wasn't, because it was poorly marketed. And then you have people where you say, well, that's not really the best representation of a period, but the reason that art is so well represented is because that particular artist was a good marketer himself or was hooked up with someone who did it for him. And those are the artists who succeed financially because they marketed their art. So I got my C in marketing in college in my 4-year program, and then I struggled in my MBA in marketing, and I learned a lot in that class, the second one. The first one, I did not understand one word. I was in accounting, I was getting straight A's, and I got to that marketing class and I got a C. And I just was like, I was lucky to get that C. And that is saying something for me, because I'm a little superwoman studier, and marketing made no sense to me at all, and it still probably doesn't. But I'm working it, and every place I can. And the thing that's happening with LinkedIn, I'm going to talk about international in the next video. So if you're interested in LinkedIn, stay tuned. Be sure to Fitinfun no matter what you're doing.